friends. Welcome to Story Behind Podcast. This is the show for people who love hearing a good story and who believe the world could use more positivity. We're the team behind GodUpdates and God2, and we hope these weekly short stories will brighten your day.
Amy Grant has a new perspective after losing her superpower in bike accident. Written by Julie Provost, read by Giovanni Johnson. Amy Grant's memory used to be her superpower, but now she can't trust it. She does, however, believe there are hidden gifts in everything. It's been 2 years since Amy Grant, 63, suffered a traumatic brain injury after a bike-related accident, and she has a new perspective on life. In an interview with AARP, Amy opened up about healing from the depression that she experienced after being stripped of her superpower. The Christian singer and songwriter also explained some changes she made in hopes of transforming her life. I've been very patient with myself. I have had a lot of good, hard cries, and I went through depression, Amy says. But everybody is recovering from something. That's life. If nothing else, we recover every day from the shock of what it means to age. My memory used to be my superpower. Now I can't trust my memory. But there are hidden gifts in everything. When Amy fell off her bike in 2022, she was unconscious for about 10 minutes. She was treated for cuts and abrasions as well as a concussion. They discovered a cyst that had been growing in her throat, which went into hypergrowth when she had the accident. She had to have a 5-hour surgery to get rid of it. She also had to learn to sing again. Later that year, Amy spoke to Fox News Digital at the 45th Kennedy Center Honors about returning to the spotlight and expressed her gratitude for her husband, Vince Gill. Vince has a kind of way of grounding the space that we're in, even without saying a word. I think early on I said, "What if I'm different? What if I'm not the same?" And he said, "Hey, every day we wake up a little different, and we love each other, and it's good," Amy shares. Having a supportive spouse when going through something like Amy did is a must. Between Amy Grant's memory not being what it once was and worrying that she would be different, having such a person by your side is a blessing. After the accident, Amy told AARP that for months she wasn't able to leave the house, look at screens, or even be on her phone. Even though it was a difficult time, she found other ways to cope. "I have a daily ritual of connecting to myself. I have a cup of coffee and stand with my bare feet on the grass. I welcome myself to the day," Amy says. "Less than a week ago, I was upset about something, but I went outside in the grass at night, and I sat there in silence. But I could see that I was a tiny part of a big picture, and I stayed until I felt peace." Amy also shares that she is more intentional about her health. She now drinks non-alcoholic beer and joined the YMCA for swimming as she can access them when she visits other places. "I'm not back to riding a bike yet because I still have some balance issues, but I'm working on it," she shares. Amy Grant's memory used to be her superpower, and she has had to find ways to move on from that. But she can still sing and tour as she currently does around the country. Many prayers to her as she continues to heal and find peace in her life after the accident. "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" Psalms 27:1. Carrie Underwood helps with leading worship at Tennessee Church. Written by Adam Staten, read by Giovanni Johnson. Carrie Underwood surprised many when she helped with leading worship at a Tennessee church. Most churches have a familiar, predictable flow to their Sunday morning services. Typically, there's a small portion at the beginning in which the church leaders take time to recognize and welcome everyone to church. It makes perfect sense. You want to make everyone feel welcome and that their presence is appreciated. Next, churches will move into their praise and worship portion. Usually, churches will sing a handful of songs. Some may sing a couple, while others could sing as many as 5 or 6. This all happens before the pastor brings the message that the Lord has laid on his heart for that week. There may be some slight differences, but for the most part, that is how many churches organize their Sunday morning service. However, one church, Rolling Hills Community Church in Franklin, Tennessee, changed things up quite a bit, and it had nothing to do with the flow of their service. According to CCM magazine, they had a former American Idol and Grammy Award-winning singer unexpectedly help lead their worship service. In the clip posted on social media, Carrie appears on stage without any announcement about her presence. Along with the choir and the other musicians on stage, Carrie joins in and sings a handful of praise and worship songs, including Goodness of God, I Thank God, and others. Carrie's appearance on stage at the Tennessee church should not surprise many. She has been very outspoken about her faith in the past. In an interview with the Cincinnati Enquirer, Carrie specifically mentioned how much her faith has impacted her. My faith has always played an important role in my life and career, she said. It means so much to me to be able to infuse spirituality into my music, which I've done in every album I've recorded, and even more so with my holiday album, My Gift, and my gospel hymns album, My Savior, which celebrates the songs I loved to sing in church growing up. Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. Ephesians 5:19.
Thank you so much for listening to Story Behind Podcast. We're really glad you joined us for this week's story. To see photos and videos that may have been referenced in this episode, check out the links in the show notes. And if you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe to our podcast, and please tell a friend about us. We'd also love it if you'd rate us and leave us a review. It really does help more people find us. Story Behind is a Salem Web Network production.